Be live and greeting you, beautiful people all around the world. Today we're gonna have a great discussion. We're gonna speak about creation, the art of creating, and how man has that power to create. Okay, so that's what we'll be speaking about. I'm waiting on others to join the chat. You're welcome. Feel free to join the chat. Feel free to make your comment and let us have a great discussion on this topic of creation. Yes, you can create your reality and you can do it consciously. Okay, so we really want to get into that and speak about that. Okay, there are two people now on the chat, on the live. I'm waiting on others to join the live. Feel free to join this live and let us have a great time together. Each and every one of you are welcome. Okay, what I want to discuss with you is that man alone has been given a certain power. Man alone has the ability to reason. Man alone has the ability to imagine, to feel, and to choose the ideas that he entertains in his mind. So man alone has been given that gift. And that is why you are responsible for the life you live on this planet. Because you have been given a power that hasn't been given to any other. And that is why man is the highest. And man has been made in the image and likeness of God, which means man must reflect the image and likeness of God. And when I speak of God, I'm not speaking of an entity that lives or resides in the sky. I am speaking of the universal consciousness. In other words, your awareness of being. I'm speaking about the life that you have, that infinite intelligence that leads and guides us. So when I speak of God, I am not speaking of agenda. I am speaking of a power, a universal power. And that power is in each and every one. And that's the power you must use to achieve your every desire. And the reason why it is because, as I would have said before, you have been given mind and speech. You have been given a power that has never been given to any other. So I would have written down something here that says man has the power to imagine and feel. In other words, you can determine your mood and your feeling. And so, if I'm going to describe you as being happy, or if I'm going to describe you as being sad, it all goes back to a feeling. And that feeling comes based on the thoughts that you entertain in your life. Okay? So because we have the power to imagine and feel, we also have the freedom to choose the ideas that we would entertain in our lives. So the things that are going to benefit you, those are the things that you need to entertain. Which means anything that you're going to entertain, it must be under the energy of love, not the energy of fear. Because you see, perfect love would always cast out all doubt and all fear. And so when you learn about your conscious and your subconscious mind and how your conscious and your subconscious mind really works, then you will understand why you have to master your feeling or your emotions. You must become an architect of your mind. You must become one who understands cause and effect. Because the effects that you will experience, it is because you are the cause of it. It is based on how you are thinking. And that is why even the Bible, it says that you can only transform your life by the renewing of your mind. So what are you using your mind to do? Are you using your mind to create? Because you've been given the power to create. And if you do not use your mind to create the ideal life that you design this planet, then you are like the fruitless fig tree. And that is why I am bringing this message to you, to remind you, as one having this human experience, that you have the power to create and that you must be a conscious creator. But in order for you to be a conscious creator, you have to trust your inner power. You have to love yourself, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to embrace yourself. And you have to believe that the self of man is God. Therefore, you will tap into your creative, infinite power and use that power to achieve your every desire. And that is why it's very important for you to practice visualization. And when you practice visualization, it is not just a ritual that you do. It is you taking responsibility for your life. And it is you acting on knowledge that has been given to you. And when you act on knowledge, that knowledge gives you power because you are operating in wisdom. And that is why it takes wisdom for you not to be destroyed. That's why you're told that the people are being destroyed for a lack of knowledge. What kind of knowledge? Knowledge of self. Most people live in this world and they do not know who they are. Most people do not know how to operate their creative power. But I want to say to you, as long as a feeling has been felt upon the subconscious mind, nothing in this world can stop you from accomplishing your goals or your desires. So you are the architect of your life. You're the one that is responsible for everything that's happening in your life. You are the operant power, but you must operate that power. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read from Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. I'm just going to expound on a few things that he said here. And I'm encouraging you to comment and let us have a good time together. Let me know that you are on this live and you want to be a part of the chat, okay, by you making a comment. It says here, your desires are not subconsciously accepted until you assume the feeling of their reality. So you must assume how will it feel, were it true that your desires are fulfilled or has become a reality. And you have to live in the end in terms of you living in the now, in the present tense, that this is taking place in your life now. Okay, so this is not you wishing for something to happen at some other point in time, but it is happening now because it's only now. He said, for only through feeling is an idea subconsciously accepted, and only through this subconscious acceptance is it ever expressed. So nothing can be expressed in this physical three-dimensional world unless it has first been felt and accepted in the spirit world, in the invisible world. And that is how manifestation really works. But most people allow themselves to dwell in doubt and fear, and they have wrong beliefs and concepts about themselves. Okay, and that is what is blocking many people, and they fail to realize that man has been given the power to create. Okay, he say here, it is easier to ascribe your feeling to events in the world than to admit that the conditions of the world reflect your feeling. You see, many people would like to point their fingers at the world. Many people blame political leaders for things that are happening in their respective country, but they fail to realize that they are the cause of everything, and that whatever they are experiencing in the outer world is only a reflection. So he says here, it is easier to ascribe your feelings to events. So most people tie themselves to events, which are the effects instead of the cause. He said, in the world, than to admit that the conditions of the world reflect your feeling. So the world is always reflecting what is taking place within you based on how you feel about yourself. So the way you feel about yourself will definitely shape the reality in your life. He said, however, it is eternally true that the outside mirrors the inside. So when I say that every one of us in this world, we are naked, if a person do not understand what that means, then they will never understand why the Bible says that they are blind, they are wretched, they are naked, and they do not even know it. And he's speaking here about people who do not know their power. People who do not know that they have a power to buy and sell. People who do not know that they have a power to create. People who do not know that they have a power for transmutation. They can transmute things from the fourth dimension into the third dimension. People who do not know their purchasing power. And that purchasing power has been given to each and every one. For you've been told to come and buy. Come and buy milk and wine and come and get honey without money. So you have a purchasing power, and that purchasing power is the power to create, because you can imagine and feel, you can reason, and you have will. You have willpower. The animals cannot imagine and reason, but you can imagine and you can reason. The animal cannot speak. They do not have the gift of speech, but you have the gift of speech. So, what does a pig or a dog has that you have also? Everything except mind and speech. Therefore, that gives you the power to rule and reign over all of creation. Therefore, your life must be one that will express creativity. You must show the world your life, that the world will see. And for you to do that, you have to be more imaginative. You have to be more creative. And how can you become more imaginative and creative? It is you learning more about yourself. It is you learning how powerful you are. Okay, so he says here, as within, so without. A lot of correspondence. So as above, so below, as it is within, so is it without. So if you want to know what is happening on the inside, you just have to look at what is taking place on the outside, because everything is to teach you what is taking place within. So thoughts become things. Your mind is shaping your life, your outer experiences. He says a man can receive nothing unless it is given him from heaven, and heaven is within. Okay? He says here, and the kingdom of God of heaven is within you. You see, most people have been looking to a kingdom outside of themselves. That's why most people do not realize that real salvation is self-realization. And so many people get trapped in false identity. Many people get trapped in this outer body, and they tie themselves to a certain sect, or tie themselves to a certain race, or tie themselves to certain beliefs, and they get trapped in separation. But there's only one universal consciousness. There's only one creative power, and we are all using that creative power. Some are using it unconsciously, while others are using it consciously. But the fact is, imagination is what creates reality. Everything in this world, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. Therefore, those people who are referred to as living in third world countries and who are living in poverty, still holding on to secular Christianity and pointing them to look outwardly, it is because they have a lack of imagination, a poverty of imagination. It is because they do not have any understanding of inner alchemy. It is because they do not have any understanding of the philosopher's stone that is within. It is because they lack certain knowledge. And so people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. It doesn't matter what is your ethnicity. Because if you go to any extreme, it is because of lack of knowledge. So if you hold to superiority, it is because of lack of knowledge. And if you hold to inferiority, it is because of lack of knowledge. Everything should be in balance, because nature itself, all of creation is in balance. And so if things are not working out in your life as you want them to be, it is because you are out of balance. And you need to get back in alignment. You need to be in alignment with nature. We see at certain time and certain season, we see each tree, it brings forth its fruit in its season. The animals, they bring forth in their time and their season. Therefore, there must be a time in your life when you must bring forth bountifully. There must be a time in your life when you must live the ideal life that you so desire. And that is why I'm reminding you that man has the power to create. Have you found your power? Have you been using your power? Have you been living the same life over and over and over again? How satisfied are you with your life? Have you been missing the mark? Because if you want to accomplish something in this world and you're not accomplishing that thing that you want to accomplish, it is because you're missing the mark, you're sinning. It means there is some form of ignorance somewhere. And so, my brothers, my sisters, you have to purify yourself. You have to cleanse yourself. If you want your life to be more valuable, there must be a cleansing. And so, when you look at gold, before gold could become this precious commodity, which is actually real money, not like the money that they print, because that's just paper they print in gold and so on. Okay, they comes from the earth. When gold just comes from the earth, it doesn't look the way it looks until when it goes through the purifying process. Then it glitters, it shines, and it becomes even more valuable. So too in life, you have to find your gift. You have to know that you can do all things through the creative power that is within you. So let me just read on a little bit more here. It says here, nothing comes from without, all things come from within. So it has nothing to do with the country you live. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. Everything that's happening in your life, it all have to do with what is taking place within you. It says from the subconscious, it is impossible for you. So it says here, nothing comes from without, all things come from within, from the subconscious. Okay, so it's what you impress upon the subconscious. It is impossible for you to see other than the content of your consciousness. You can never see beyond the way you think. And you can never experience beyond what you think. You can never eat your cake and have it. You can't entertain certain kind of thoughts and expect to get certain results. So whatever result you're getting in your life, it is because you're not doing the things that you need to do. Okay? He said, your world in its every detail is your consciousness objectified. So everyone is beholding what they sow. And they are blaming others. But there's no one to blame, and there's no one to change but yourself. So take some self-introspection right now and ask yourself if you're living the ideal life that you would like to live on this planet. Ask yourself if there's more that you believe that you can do. You see, you're not here to seek happiness. You're here to seek to know who you are and to know the power that you possess, so you can know why you are here and what work you came here to do. Because each and every one of us, we came here to do a work. That's why each and every one of us, we have a fingerprint. But in all, as a collective, we have the power to create. So if you're not creating, it is because of the conversation that is taking place within. Because your self-talk is what is creating your reality. As I said before, it doesn't have anything to do with your geography. It doesn't have anything to do with your ethnicity. It all have to do with your mentality. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, his subconscious mind, so is he. But the key I want to get across to you, my brother, my sisters, is that you have the power to create. Then you're supposed to be a conscious creator. It doesn't matter where you're living. You still have the power to think. And thoughts become things. Doesn't matter where you're living, you have the power to be an alchemist. Doesn't matter where you're living, you have the power to practice inner alchemy. So when you go into visualization, you go to meditation, when you practice mindful breathing, it is because you want to transmute lead into gold. You want to take your thoughts along with your feeling and your action, which is your inspired action, to give you your manifestation. So my brother, my sisters, no one is more privileged than the other, as long as you learn the key or the phenomena to life. Remember, there's only one universal consciousness. There's only one creative power. That is why even the Bible, which is a book of mind science, it says, "Hear ye, O Israel." Israel means to rule as God. It is not speaking about a geographical place. It says, "Hear ye, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one God." The creative power is one creative power. And you must use that creative power to achieve your every desire. Which one of you who will listen to me do not want to gain something in this life? Every one of us want to gain something in this life. Every one of us want to feel a certain way. And in order for us to feel that certain way, we have to get in alignment. Alignment with nature. We have to bring forth like nature. Do you realize if nature is out of alignment and nature doesn't fulfill its purpose, do you know all of humanity will starve to death? So you're starving yourself when you do not feed on the right thing, when you do not consume the right things that will help you to grow spiritually. Because why? We are spirits having human experience. So you are to be spiritual, not religious. Spiritual. So you have to seek to know spiritual things, not the carnal things. So the carnal mind would seek after the things of the flesh, but the things of the spirit will seek the things of the spirit. And when you find the things of the spirit, you use the things of the spirit to give you the physical things or the physical manifestations that you need in this three-dimensional world. That is the secret of the potter in Jeremiah 18. The potter that has the power to shape and to mold and to reshape. And if a vessel is marred in the hands of the potter has the power to reshape it. You can reshape your life. It's never too late for you to reshape your life. So what is your desire? So my brother, my sisters, if you listen to me and you're only making $40,000 a year or $50,000 a year, but you desire to make $150,000 a year, or you desire to make $250,000 a year, the only thing that is stopping you is you. What do you say to yourself when you are by yourself? How do you see yourself? How do you feel about yourself? That is what is shaping each and every one of us life on this planet. So for example, if you feel that money is evil and you have negative thinking about money, what kind of results do you think you're going to get? You're going to get negative results. Why? Because you are actually cursing yourself when you're supposed to be blessing yourself. You are placed here to be a blessing to yourself and to the rest of the world, not to be a curse, not to be a wandering soul on this planet, not to be a feeder on this planet, but to be a producer, to be a creator, to be one that understands the law of contribution and one who understands the law of compensation. So the law of compensation says you must give. Give up your time, give up your energy, and do not be arrogant, believing that getting knowledge and getting information is empowering you without any action. It is good to say you have faith, but what good is your faith if there's no works to prove your faith? So my brother, my sisters, I'm just here to remind you that man has the power to create. Therefore, you can create the ideal life that you desire. If you would only remind yourself that you have an appointment with a lover night after night as you're about to go to bed. Job 33 says, in the vision of the night when men slumber upon the bed, then sealeth he their instructions. What are you instructing your subconscious mind? That would mean your results. Okay, I can go on and on, but I wanna get some comment. I'm looking for you to make some comment. I'm looking for some response from you so we can have a good time together. Okay. So, what plan do you have as a creator? Do you believe this message that I'm bringing to you, that man has the power to create, because man has the power to imagine and feel? And I'm telling you, if things are not working in your life as you want them to be, it goes right back to how you feel about you, how you feel about you, how you feel about the world, how you feel about everything that's happening around you. How do you feel? So your feeling can either build you or break you. Looking for some comment, man. Looking for some comment. Many people are still playing the victim game. Many people are still playing the blaming game. Many people are still playing the pointing the finger game. But when you point your finger like this, look at the amount that is pointing back to you. So my brother and my sisters, hold yourself responsible for everything that's happening in your life. You see, when you look on the internet, you see people blaming Biden, people blaming Putin, people blaming Zelensky, and all the other different people. But no one is actually taking blame for themselves. But I'm saying to you that everything that is happening in your life, you are the cause of it. And I'm here to say that you can fix it. And it's never too late to fix your life. All you need to do is start to change your thinking. Work upon yourself. Work more harder upon yourself than the job that you're doing. Most people work so hard in a job and they find less time to work upon themselves. If you work more upon yourself than your job, then you would discover for yourself that man has the power to create. If you start to set goals in your life and you start to remain faithful to those goals, remain consistent and practice self-mastery, become more self-disciplined, then you prove that man has the power to create. And it have nothing to do with the color of your skin. It have nothing to do with where you live in geographically. Right now we are living in a global village. And there's so much opportunities. You see, if you waste your life on social media, just as a consumer, just consuming content, you on TikTok, and you get chopped with TikTok, you get chopped with Instagram, you get chopped with all of these things, and you're not using them for your benefit, you're not going to produce. And you're not going to prove that man have the power to create, because you're not creating anything. But I'm here to encourage you to be a conscious creator. Okay. Alison, he said, hi, BMG. Is there one higher self that we all share? Yes. Or are there a whole bunch of higher self? No, there's only one higher self. There's only one higher self. There's only one power. For example, let me break it and make it simple. There's only one creative power on this planet. The power of imagination. Everything in this world, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. Everything in this world, it was once contemplated first by someone before it was manifested in this three-dimensional reality. There isn't two power. There's only one power. But we've been given the power of choice. We can choose the thoughts that we entertain in our lives. That's what makes us equal to the gods. And when I say to the gods, to those who have attained enlightenment to come to know who they are And I'm speaking from experience. I transform my life by the renewing of my mind. And I know that you too can transform your life by the renewing of your mind. You got to change your thinking. You have to change your belief system. You have to get rid of the old story. You see, many people has been telling themselves the same old story over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And they never change the story. The script never change. You see, life is like a stage. It's like a big stage. And each and every one of us have the ability to choose which script we want to play. And whatever script you choose to play, that would be the outcome that you will experience. So, the rich man, the beggar man, the thief is one mind, but just different arrangement of that one mind. So, my brothers, my sisters, you can rearrange your mind to win. You could win in life. So, if you've been losing, I'm saying to you that all you have to do is remember that you have an appointment with a lover each night. And learn to write down your goals and your dreams. And though they tarry, Habakkuk chapter 2 tell you, though it tarry, you must wait. For it is for an appointed time. You're working with law and order. Everything is based on law and order. And that is why you must understand these laws that you're governed by. These laws that all of nature is governed by and walk by these laws. Okay? As you can see, every seed and every species is reproducing back after its own kind. And whatever thoughts you sow in your garden, the garden of your mind, that is the fruit you will bring forth. And the son again is there a difference between a soul as a soul and a higher self. Your higher self and the soul is the same. Or do they both point to the same? It's the same. Okay, your higher self, your soul. You're a solar being. You're light. God is light and you're light. You're a light being. You see, these things that I speak from experience. Okay, I can't speak from what someone else says or from what I read in a book. I was fortunate enough to have had an awakening experience. Okay, and anyone who have ever visited like certain Caribbean islands like the one I'm living in here, you would know there's no way a person can speak like this. I have this kind of knowledge unless he would have had some sort of experience. And that's a fact. That's why most people in my country, they say he's crazy. He lost his mind. Because they've never heard anyone speak like that before, because we are living in a nation that is called a Christian nation, and everybody believes in secular Christianity. Everybody believes that the Bible is literal and secular history. And the Goddard family has the biggest business in this country. They build the empire and they just celebrate 100 years. So my brother, my sisters, I know exactly what I'm speaking to you, because I'm speaking to you from experience. You see, many people are on the internet telling people what they want to hear because they have itching ears. You see, many people believe if they achieve something in this life, it's going to give them happiness. But happiness is not what you're seeking for. You're seeking to know who you are. That's the most important thing, your identity. And when you find out that your real identity is your divinity, it will empower you to create your reality consciously. And when you are able to create your reality consciously, you will live sumptuously. As a result, you will have no options in life. That is why the Bible tells you that the rich rule it over who? The poor. And in most so-called third world country, who are the poor? Religious, superstitious people who believe in secular Christianity that is pointing them to look outwardly. Those who are speaking negatively about money. So, when you realize that you have the power to create, and you're doing things that people are telling you to do on the internet, and it's not working, many a time it's because you're gullible and you have itching ears, and you forget that you're born in this world as a little child who couldn't walk, and you had to learn to creep before you walk. But you live in a fast-paced world, everybody want to get rich quick. So many people just going from one YouTuber to another YouTuber to another YouTuber to another YouTuber, and they're those who put up the right kind of thumbnail to get you to click. But I'm saying, when you get the real click within you of the spark that is within you, the light that is within you, the intelligence that is within you, and you experience the true resurrection, then you speak a different language. And that language is the language of consciousness. And that is why if you just go out just after the law, you would only be able to get the physical things that are temporal. But when it comes to discovering your eternal self, your true self, your higher self, when it comes to discovering the invisible fluid that is within you to empower you, to give you a takeoff. You see, they're sending spaceship into orbit. Do you know that you could go into orbit? I'm speaking from experience. So my brother, my sisters, you are told to seek ye first the kingdom. Not seek ye first $1 million. Not seek ye first a mansion. Seek ye first the kingdom of your higher self, which is the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is the kingdom of the higher self. He said, and when you find the kingdom, it can't be hidden. He said, all these things will be added unto you. I have to be real. You see, sometimes when people like myself come on the internet, people try to question me. But when they see a white man come on, they don't question him because why? Their mindset, where they live in psychologically. They look so much, look down so much on themselves that they just think that kind of way. But I'm speaking from experience. That is why I'm not afraid to speak the things that I know I'm supposed to speak. There are people who come on already and try to question me about how much I have. Like if that is the main thing. And I have more than enough. And I move from an employee to an employer. And that is not ego. But when people like this YouTuber Laka Jr., nobody question him because he said that his uncle was in meeting with Neville. So my brother, my sisters, look at the message, not the messenger. Don't judge the messenger. Receive the message and apply it in your life. That's what is important. And that's why I'm saying to you, man, have the power to create. What are you creating? And who are you listening to? Okay? Let me check the comment here. Thank you. When you say you speak from experience, do you refer to your past awakening experience or your current living experience? Both. My current living experience and my awakening experience. I've seen my life transform. Everything changed in my life and things just keep changing. Why? Because I walk by certain law and certain principle. I understand how powerful gratitude is. I understand how important it is to give. You see, I live in a country, because I live in what is known as a third world country. I live in the Caribbean. And the people mentality is gimme, 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 gimme. It's never how may I serve. But when you say to the universe, how may I serve? The universe gonna give you back an answer. How may I serve you? But you see, many times when people receive inspiration, they don't write it down. Within 5 seconds of you receiving communication from the universe, you should write it down and start to act upon it. For example, if my thumbnail would have said, how to manifest $3 million, here I could no comment. There would have been so much people. And that is just to tell you where people are living psychologically. But I'm not here to play games with people. I'm not here to put up clickbait. I'm here to be real with you, to say to you that you have the power to create. And you can change your life whichever way you want it to be. I'm here to say to you that you're more valuable than money. Because money is energy. And you're a mass of energy. And you are the creator and money is the creation. You are the perceiver beholding the perception. Money is the perception. It's a manifestation. Why do you think they print it? Why do you think it's been printed? Gold is not printed. You can't go and print gold. And all the other precious metals and so on, the things that are in the earth, you can't go and print them. They can print paper. And people train their whole life away for paper. Believing that is the real thing. But I'm teaching you to tap in to the real thing, which is the cosmic money that is within you, the power that is within you, the power to create. You see, many people listen to the work of Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard didn't tell you everything. There's still a lot of things, and you have to go deep to get it. But it's very much catching to use certain title and to get many people to click on your video if you say exactly what they want to hear. But it's deeper than that. Even Neville himself, when he started to teach the promise, many people start following him. And I experienced the promise before I even start teaching. That's what enabled me to come on the internet and start to teach. I really love your Inner Sun Science and Technology course on Patreon. I'm so grateful. Thank you. You're most welcome, my brother. This Inner Sun Science and Technology, I'm telling you, there's more to it. And the time gonna come and I'm gonna put forth more on what I am speaking about. You see, if more people would understand inner alchemy and more people would learn to think for themselves, they wouldn't turn around and call their own creativity witchcraft. Especially in the black community. Their own power, they calling it witchcraft. Because why? Someone bewitched them to call their own power witchcraft, to call it evil. And so they would pack their churches, even in masses, clapping and singing. And then they say, they look at me and say, he's a crazy man, he lost his mind. So, my brother, my sisters, I really want to thank you very much for joining me in this life. And I want to let you know that I'm willing to walk with you. I'm willing to be a part of your spiritual journey. I'm willing to help you because I know where I came from. to where I am now. And I know if I can do it, you can do it. I had 25 years experience in church, in the church system. As a matter of fact, if you listen to me and you have any Caribbean background, you will know that religion is a part of the school program. In the morning, you have to say praise. And you have to say it in the name of Jesus. In the afternoon, you have to do the same thing before lunch. And then after you have your lunch and you go back in, you have to do the same thing again. And then in the evening, before you leave, you have to do that again. And then when you go home, your parents, they're going to tell you to go on your knees and pray to God outside of yourself. But I found a power within myself through an experience. And that is what enabled me to be sharing this wisdom with you. And to say to you, it's a blessing for you to be on this path. It is a blessing for you to be listening to someone who would have come to his Christ consciousness. I'm not a scholar. I'm a witness. I'm not here as a historian. I am a witness. One who have witnessed. One who been chosen for a purpose. One who is in connection with his ancestors. Because he was a melanated man that looked like me. That visit me in a dream. And speak to me and give me my commission. That's why I'm saying, my brothers, my sisters, you have a power in you. Don't let nobody stop you from using that power. Don't look for overnight gratification. Consistency is the key. Get rid of the H and A's. Don't be gullible. And everything will work out for you. I know exactly what I'm telling you. Let me read this one. Unstoppable Man, Health Plan. Is there something we can do like breath work to have an experience like Neville and you did? What I can say to you is that everything that I was doing before my awakening, I was doing it without any prior knowledge, right? Okay. So let me tell you some of the things I was doing. Okay. I've always been a person who always keep my body in shape. Okay, I always used to be, I'm still a bodybuilder, natural bodybuilder. I build my body naturally, love to be built and have muscles and so on. So I always used to eat good. I always used to make sure I drink enough water and hydrate my body. I always make sure I get enough sunlight. So exercise, eating, and sleep, which is very important also. Sunlight, which is very important. And I used to do some yoga. Okay, I do yoga and so on. And since I was growing up, I always like to be in nature. I always like to be by myself. So basically, I actually had a kind of misunderstood life in terms I couldn't even understand myself. And very early, I seek the church system to answer the question of who am I? Because when I was a boy, I beat my chest with tears in my eyes and I asked myself, who am I? And who is God? And so I set out with the ambition to seek to know who am I and who is God. So a lot of things that I was doing, I believe it was shaping me to come into this great experience. Okay, because from a boy, I had certain mystical experiences, and then as I grow older, I keep getting experience. I remember when I was 30, I had a certain experience too, which I wouldn't go into right now because of time. Okay, because I wanna stop in the next 5 minutes or so. Okay, I remember when I was 30, I was commissioned, and I knew that when I turned 4 and 5, which is 45, which is 9, which my life path number is 9. That is why I used to wake up 3 every morning, not by a clock, alarm clock waking me up. No, sir. It wasn't the alarm clock waking me up. It was the intelligence waking me up at that time. And that's why I started writing my books. And at that time, I didn't know anything about publishing books. I I start to do YouTube, and I keep saying, I have this book, I have that book, and then people keep asking me, so where is the book? And I was like, I have them in notebooks. And so someone reached out to me and told me about ebooks, okay, at the time. And so I start with ebooks, and then later on that same person reached out to me and tell me they was offering something else whereby you can have the other versions, okay, and that's how. So everything that I learned, it was me making a bold step. And when I started YouTube because I wanted to do something for humanity. All my life I always want to help people. It wasn't me trying to do YouTube to get something. I had no knowledge about YouTube at the time. Okay? But I follow my intuition. That's why I believe in being very intuitive. That's why I'm doing this live today. Just following my intuition. But if I should leave anything with you, I want to say to you that man has been given the power to create. We've been given the power to imagine and feel. I want to talk about feel. I'm speaking about the mood. I'm speaking about you can say to yourself, how would I feel? And acquire that feeling and live in the present tense of the wish already fulfilled. That's it right there. If you can do that, you become unstoppable. But first of all, you need to cleanse yourself. There must be a time of purification. You have to purify yourself from certain beliefs, certain things that have been handed down to you. All of these things, you have to move them. And then you start to see changes in your life. Okay? So, as I said before, I think I'm going to come to a close here. But before I leave you, I just want to say to each and every one of you, if you haven't gotten a hold of my latest book, I'll definitely encourage you to get it. There's a lot of gems in it. It's called Spiritual Recipe for Better Living. Okay, the link is already down below. You can check it out, and I have the hard copy in that too. Okay, Spiritual Recipe for Better Living. And there's a chapter where I speak about the cloud or the light of abundance, the cloud of abundance. In the story of Elijah, I will definitely need you to get it. And if you get that book and you reach out to me and you have proof that you have purchased that book and you decide to have a one-on-one with me, I can go more deeper into that secret that is in your forehead. So it's up to you. Let me see. Let me just read these few comments and then come to close. Could you please translate John 10:18? No man taketh it from me. Okay. Every death is a suicide. No man take my life. That's why in Psalms 82 it says, you are God. Nevertheless, you're going to die like a man. You see, we came here through taking the death of amnesia, which is the death of sleep. It's a sleep. And that is why everyone who came into this world, you came in a state of amnesia, state of forgetfulness, and you're seeking to know who you are. You had to lose your identity to have this human experience. Because a spirit cannot tell you how chocolate tastes. A spirit cannot tell you how sex tastes. So in order for the spirit to have this kind of experience, it must take on a body. Okay. So no man take my life. I lay down and I take it back up again. We are eternal. You are God in flesh. A lot of people saying it, but there must be experience where you would experience it, okay? I can speak from experience. Thank you for sharing your story. My experience has been similar and your channel helped me greatly. Currently walking in the midst of the law of gestation. Yes, you have to learn to trust the process. Things don't happen overnight. I've been on YouTube about what? About 5 years, 6 years? Something about 5, 6 years now. Before I start to see certain results, okay? Might be thank you, family, and blessings. Thank you to my brother. I really want to thank each and every one of you for listening to me. And I really want to encourage you to stay on this path and to believe in yourself. Make sure to write down the things that you desire in this life and start to get to work. Be like a scientist that goes to his laboratory to mix chemicals together. Do that with your mind. Be a true alchemist. Understand how thoughts and emotion really works. But you have to become a doer, a conscious. You have to be a conscious creator. So you have to put things to work. You have to realize that you're a spiritual scientist working with spiritual by spiritual laws. And we are here to help you. Okay, so let me say thank you all very much for listening to me. I really appreciate all of your comments. I appreciate the love and the support. And I want to encourage you that if you would like to have a one-on-one with me, you can reach out to me by way of email. Once the terms and conditions fit you, we can definitely work together. Also, you can choose to be a part of my Patreon community, and you can take my course, the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously, if you haven't done it already. And I have a bonus course there on self-concept also. Okay, so feel free to do that. Also, if you ever feel strongly led to support this work, I just want to remind you, we always have a PayPal, and the link is always down below. So until next time, my brothers and my sisters, be a conscious creator, because you have been given the power to create.